I'm going to start off by asking a question. I'm not sure if anybody saw a recent survey. It was actually done by the Watch TV channel, but a lot of the newspapers picked up on it. It was probably in the papers a few weeks ago. What is the most popular career choice for pre-teens? Did anyone see that at all? Does anyone want to venture a guess? And I'll give you a clue. The picture's misleading. It's nothing to do with wind turbines. Anyone want to venture a guess? Okay, right, I'll tell you, the top choice was sports person. Okay, that was number one pre-teens, that was their career choice. Number two, pop star. And number three was gravedigger. No, okay, that's an actor. Okay, so that's number three. Okay, there's the full top 10 list, and this is what pre-teens wanted to be. So you can see we're at number four is astronaut. So that's also sort of a very ambitious career choice. And then we're actually sort of getting into the lower echelons of the top 10 before we start seeing anything that's a bit more sort of the traditional professions. So basically, if we're talking about promoting careers in energy, then we've really got our work cut out for us. I'd imagine we have to go quite a long way down the list before we start getting to some careers in energy. And so what we really want to do is sort of make sure that we are attracting the brightest and the best students, and letting them know sort of what a broad range of careers in energy that there is open to them. So the EIS is trying to get the message out there, telling people that are thinking about sort of their career choices, all the different types of careers that they can do, and also that a career in energy allows them to make a serious difference. It's actually a career that they can make a change, and also it's a career that people are very passionate about. It's something that they can get really involved in. And make a lot of enthusiastic choices. What we've shown here is the EI's Careers and Education portal, and it's energyzone.net, and this is our education and careers website. I won't take you through the whole website here, but just to let you know sort of what we've got on there. The first section is about energy, and that's information for students and teachers. There's lots of fun things for school kids to do, also resources that teachers can use in the classroom. And there's just basic information about what energy is, and some tips on there about saving energy. The next session we've got on the website is towards a career in energy. This is aimed at people either sort of making career choices coming out of school or university, or thinking about career changing. And what that has got in there is a lot of job profiles, lots of different information about everything that goes on in the energy sector, employers that you can work for. And then the final section we have on there is advancing your career in energy. So if you're interested in professional development, perhaps going on to professional membership, then that's for people that are already working in the sector. So we're showing that once you come into the sector, that's not it. There's development opportunities all the way through. Also, sort of, we like to focus on particular areas of energy, particularly, for example, one where we need to recruit more people. So we've produced careers brochures on energy engineering, and this one's aimed at 14 to 18-year-olds, so sort of at the ages where they're making decisions about their future and what subjects they want to take at school, where they want to end up. So sort of we're also doing some things in hard copy as well. As well as thinking about school children, we are also working with higher education bodies. So sort of these are some of the universities that we accredit courses with, and really sort of we're offering a quality assurance scheme there. But what we're also doing is when we go into the visit universities, we're asking about their input from industry, finding out how that they're liaising with people sort of from industry and getting their input into the course, and making sure that they are actually sort of putting students out the other end that the industry are going to be interested in employing. The EI has got lots of local branches that also contribute to various events around the country. The one pictured there is something called STEM in the Pipeline, and that event was sponsored by our Aberdeen branch, and that had teams of pupils working with industry people, and then after they'd heard the presentations, they started doing a term-long project, and they sort of worked through a real world example of something that they might be doing if they worked in the energy sector, and then they came together and presented their ideas at the end. So that was a really good example of giving people something so they know exactly what type of career they'd be getting into. One recent project that the EI took part in was a series of workshops for teachers. This was undertaken with the Royal Academy of Engineering, and it was all about showing teachers how they can fit energy into the curriculum, giving them confidence in talking about energy issues, and increasing their knowledge of energy careers. Okay, so some of the challenges involved in the workshop was basically working with teachers was quite difficult to get them out of the classroom. They're quite a difficult group to get hold of, and so that meant that we learned a lot from that experience, and we were able to produce a lot of materials after the workshop that fed in more to what would be useful to them. In terms of the workshop content, the workshop covered a range of energy technologies. There were debates about keeping the lights on, how is that possible, and looked at the new technologies emerging and gave teachers information about all of those. We also had people from industry coming along to input into these workshops, and that absolutely was such a good thing for them to come along, because they spoke with such enthusiasm and such passion at these workshops that it really inspired the teachers to see that these were people that were enjoying their careers, and it really opened their eyes to thinking about passing this knowledge on to their students as perhaps an avenue that's lesser known and that they hadn't considered before. After the workshop happened, as we said, we realised that a lot of the lessons learned from that would work well for teachers that hadn't been able to attend, and so we were able to put together some materials on our website on Energy Zone, and just basically further resources and activities for people to use in the classroom, and really just hopefully getting teachers to consider how they can use energy in an interesting way, and get people more involved and interested. So really, I think lots of the things that I've talked about have really relied on industry input. It's required a lot of people to talk passionately, enthusiastically about their careers and give up their time to do that. So I just wanted to finish off by talking about how you can get involved and how you can help with this. One thing that the Energy Institute has done is teamed up with the STEM Ambassadors Programme. You could do this through the Energy Institute, or you can just join yourself. And basically, what the programme does is it takes people from industry and puts them into schools. So it sets up events for them to do. It might be a careers talk, or it might be a fair, or it might be just an activity day or something that's going to be interesting for the pupils. And so if you have an afternoon every few months that you could give up to go along to something like that, you don't need to give up a great deal of time, then I definitely recommend you finding out more about the programme and finding out how you can pass on your interest. The Energy Institute is currently running a campaign at the moment called What's Your Story? And what we're trying to do is find out how people got into the energy sector, what they're interested in, how they got there, what career choices they made. And then once we've built up that information, we're going to be using it talked to a variety of people and shown them there's lots of different routes into the sector. So even if you're not a member of the Energy Institute, sort of, it may well be something you can get involved in with a different professional body or a different organisation, and just kind of sharing your experiences. I think sort of just generally I wanted to say for the company support, if you do run a company sort of or have some staff, you can either give up your own time or encourage them to do so, and really just look for opportunities to get involved, because it does make such a difference. I think so many pupils end up making a career choice because of an experience they've had, someone they've met, and sort of have got pleasant memories of that. So really I think sort of I'm just saying, if you have got the opportunity to give up your time or allow your staff to have time off to do things like that, it's not something that needs a lot of money or commitment, but it's just something sort of that it can really make a difference.